Is there any hardware built for a Promise rover, and what would that be? Was that just a potential name for a future mission?
Oh, no, there is another. It exists. In fact, I think you showed the video of it. It's real.
Is that a promise?
I think that the farthest I can go is we're thinking about it, but I promise you we're thinking about it.
We're thinking about it. Well, for a little more clarity, tonight we were thrilled to be joined by what has got to be one of the coolest jobs in the solar system, the man in charge of NASA's moon base, also the guy that was chuckling over to the side there. Carlos, thank you so very, very much for being with us. Carlos García-Galán, you know what's going on here. I got to ask about this this promise, the aptly named, possibly, this little rover that you guys maybe have here at JPL, California. I know that there is one that's being used as a test twin for the Mars rovers. Is that going to go to the moon? And if it does, is it going to go nuclear like its Mars cousins?
Hi, how are you? So yeah, we are definitely studying the possibility of sending what was a test article of one of the Mars rovers, outfitted a little bit differently, and then send it to the moon, and it would absolutely go nuclear. I mean, that would be one of the benefits of sending the Promise rover in a mission there. It would be that we can go anywhere in the South Pole without having to worry about where the sun is at, and go into those, potentially craters that have permanently shadowed regions, and stay there for a long time, prospecting and learning where we're going to set up the moon base.
It's so wild to see this video because, when you're talking about the moon, I don't think people realize, but like even just looking at the wheels, you could have like crazy temperature swings from one part of the rover in, temperatures of like 130 degrees of heat, and then the other part in like negative 100 to like negative 300 degrees. I know that solar panels, you get a lot of daylight maybe at the top of the craters and at the peaks, but down below, solar is kind of out. So is nuclear like the only option here?
It is not the only option, but it's one assured option. So we want to test out different technologies. As a matter of fact, we're planning to build a moon base in 3 different phases. And the first phase, which has already started and it goes through 29, it's all about testing out the things that we think will work to set up the permanent infrastructure to enable long-duration missions. So we think that solar has the potential to work in, especially if we build, tall solar masts that can get off the ground significantly. We'll definitely try that out, but having a rover with a nuclear generator that we can basically send anywhere and not have to worry about surviving the lunar night is going to be a big advantage if we can make that happen.
Yeah. Anything that can survive on its own for a while without you worrying too much about it, that makes a lot of sense. And yet when we look at those pictures, I think people don't really understand the complexity of how much we really don't know. I know, it seems as though you guys might be going from site to site, checking out all of the different parts of NASA throughout the country and saying, hey, the moon is the new priority. Is there anything around here that we can send up to the moon ASAP?
Yeah, we're actually doing that. So once we focused on the key initiatives that we declared at Ignition Day, like getting back to the moon faster and setting up a outpost in the South Pole of the moon where we can do long durations or maybe permanent rotations of crews there. We started looking at all the capabilities that NASA have, our core competencies, our facilities, our experts, and we're putting them in play to help the vendors that are going to be building some of our assets succeed. And we may be building some on our own. For example, the Moonfall drones that are also going to be developed at JPL, or potentially outfitting an engineering unit for one of the Mars rovers to get it ready to go to the surface of the moon.
Yeah, it seems like first things first, scouting, second things first, moving around a little bit of dirt. Look, Carlos, again, you have one of the most envious jobs on the planet, and yet probably a very stressful job. I mean, we've heard you talk a little bit about building berms. I know shelter is going to be a huge issue going forward. so many people were excited by Artemis 2, seeing like those micrometeor strikes on the lunar surface. I know myself, others saw those and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Is that happening a lot more than we think? And that has a lot of potential downside. What are the biggest engineering challenges that keep you up at night right now?
Yeah, but first of all, just to address the Artemis 2, the amount of data we got just from a 4-5 hour pass with humans in the capsule describing the things was amazing. And you're right. Half the team was super excited that we were getting those sites, which we didn't expect it. And the other half, including me, were like, maybe I have to worry about this thing that I also wasn't expecting. So it was still, interesting to get the data no matter what. So addressing the broader question, so there's a couple of things. There is the challenges to meet the demand that we are putting forward to be able to do this very ambitious project and getting our industry and our own facilities to be able to have the production capacity to produce all those landers and technology demonstrations and rovers. And those are the challenges we're really focused right now on, trying to put everything we got into identifying the bottlenecks, what we can do to help. And then there's the other challenges once you get to the moon, especially the South Pole, which is incredible. Temperature swings, illumination, the terrain that we have to traverse, getting into those craters where we want to look for those scientific objectives. All of those are hard. To me, right now, what we need to focus on is develop the machines that we can send there and get ground truth, like get reliable access to the lunar surface, find out what's happening there, like this micrometeorite environment, for example. Let's see what that is, the temperatures, the illumination. We kind of know what's there, but there's nothing like being there. And then testing out things that we think will help us. So that's really our focus right now, both building the landers and putting stuff on them that give us that data.
Carlos García-Galán, I got to say two things I was very excited about today. One, obviously this promise. Two, the fact that you guys are going to be having these updates every month, it seems. I know that for most of human history, we've had a lunar calendar. Once again, we are returning to a lunar calendar, at least for these updates. Carlos, really appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.